Oh my goodness. Well, we had that other shooting again in Nashville. Very sad. 3 children and 3 teachers were killed. And apparently the one that did it was a person that identifies as a trans man. Okay. Of course, they're calling her a woman. That used to go to that school. And it's a good Christian school. Private Christian school. So, how much do you want to bet when she was going to that good Christian school that she was really probably looked down on, and it really screwed with her head, and now we have all this stuff going about transgender community and all the hate being put out there. And I have a feeling that this person snapped. Now, I can't, to go kill children and those teachers, that's not the way. But I'm going to pull some cards and just see what we get behind it. The fly in the ointment, okay? When it came with things she was sitting with, when it came to her future, I would say. Yeah. So again, it feels like it goes back to all this stuff about the hatred of the trans community, etc., by these so-called loving Christians. Okay? I mean, why can't they just accept people? I just was watching another one. This supposed to be investigative reporter. Yeah. That who's behind all this transgender thing, and she was just going off and, there's only 2 sexes and you're born in this right body. Well, has she never heard of hermaphrodites? Okay. There are hermaphrodites, which are born with both sex organs. And she's supposed to be an investigative reporter. No, she came in with a skewed view, and you could see her projection with every word she's spitting out there. Okay? Just, again, the angry uber-right mentality that's going on. So, anyway, let's continue to pull cards and see if we can get what was going on with this. At the heart of it, some light on the subject. Where she lives could also be the school, where she was going, yeah. And the challenge was her being a young adult and her growing up, okay? Or it also could be her and the adult. It could have been the teachers and things there. She is now 28, but she did go to that quote-unquote Christian school. Underneath of it, we have what? Yeah, poisonous. So 9 out of 10, she felt victimized. And rejection and all of the things that go on with you have somebody that's a so-called Christian organization that just say such horrible things with people that are transgender. So at the heart of it, we have this walking away. Now, it could be they're walking away from compassion, or it could be her wanting to walk away. Yeah, because she's always having to defend, okay? Defending who she is, what she is, and feeling, again, pushed back. And I've got a feeling 9 out of 10 that it has to do with all of this rhetoric against the trans community by these good, well-meaning Christians. Yeah, haters. So the light, yeah, it's what's rapidly come. This rapid movement. Yeah, again, of this anger and angst and drama that's coming out. When we have the home or the school, she facing losses. Okay, depression, loss, again, being served up. Yeah, it's looking more and more like she went to this place that was supposed to be a good Christian school, where I'm sure that they were talking about, how horrible it would be to be trans, etc. So we have, this could be either her or it could be their strong ideology. 9 out of 10, she had a female teacher, perhaps. Okay. And underneath of it is, was there compassion? Was there compassion, or was it just this overarching, emotional, heavy drama? I think it was the heavy emotional drama that was going on there. So we had the clarification about the woman is the victory of, the seeds planted, the unhappy harvest, okay, the Pandora's box, because of what's been put out there mentally, which is dark, okay, which is dark. And I'm sure that they were talking about that they were going to hell or whatever. This was what was moving forward, and the fishtails by the establishment, okay. And just this. So it looks like it had to do, and I don't have here any major arcana with it. We had underneath of it, let's see, there was the major arcana underneath of it, of this moving forward of this dark ideology, okay, that was being perpetrated, which was being put out there in no uncertain terms, and with something that she had struggled with, and so then she took action. Just a sad thing all the way around. This non-acceptance and this hatred and vilification. And I'm sure that with all this stuff coming out now in the politics with it, that it brought back these memories of when she was in school and these things were being said. Because we're going to break this down. Now, we don't have major arcana there. We did have the major arcana, what's underneath of it. And that was moving forward these dark things, saying that she's changed, she's going to hell, etc., etc., etc. So we had the clarification were the seeds that were planted and the harvest that came out of that. Well, when you're going to school and they're feeding you a lot of negativity, unacceptance, saying that basically, I'm sure that it's basically demonic, it's dark, it's, there's male and there's female and that's it, and, all of this rhetoric, you plant those seeds, what's the harvest you're going to get? Okay? So we have, at the heart of it, this walking away from compassion, feeling loss, and again, this is all coming out of where she went to school, being served up this stuff that she didn't want to hear, okay? It caused a lot of very heavy emotion. Now, this could be, when it's in the toxic realm, It's that very heavy-handed toxic emotion. And so I would say what that is, because this is probably the person that's heading up the school, okay, that is got that over-emotional drama. Because what we have here was, the light of it was this charging forward, this strong, and then what was said to her, the strong mental drama that was put on her. And at the heart of it, she felt like she was having to defend everything. And then this stuff is happening rapidly, okay? And that they were, you know, the older about this victory. So whether the victory was the toxic victory against transgender community, or whether it was that the adult was, she started out as a youth, and then as an adult, she went forward and did these actions, which is, again, horrendous. To just have that anger and hate and blind hatred to go do something like that is, you know, you can't condone it, but you can basically understand it. Now, I can understand a bit, because when I was having very severe PTSD, and I was living in Hawaii, I was going to the Veterans Center, and during that time, it was not too long after McVeigh had bombed that thing, you know, had that explosion. And so when you went in, they'd search your car, okay? They'd search your car, search everything. So the guy there, this gem of a guy, goes out and he goes, "Open your trunk." So I opened my trunk. He goes, "Now you've done it. You've raised your hand to me." And he tried to handcuff me, threw me up against the car. And I hadn't done anything, you know. I did what he asked. I opened the car. And he used it as a point to come after me. Well, I didn't let him handcuff me. You know, that wasn't going to happen. And I was so angry. I was so just seeing red. And said, I didn't do a thing, but I will now. I was contemplating laying in wait for him with a baseball bat. I tell you, when I left that, you know, the next day I got a plane ticket and left the island. It scared me so bad, just that anger coming up. It scared the heck out of me. Okay? I had never experienced something like that, but just absolute blind anger. So I can understand where somebody snaps and they go into that, you know, irrational anger. Like I said, I had that happen to me once, and it scared the bejeebers out of me, because I've never been violent toward anyone, never in my life. And when that came up, and I just snapped in that second, it scared me enough. Like I said, I left the next day. I got a plane ticket and I left, because it was that anger of just blind rage coming out. So, you know, you feel for everyone involved. You know, it's horrible. Three of the teachers, they were all in their 60s, got murdered, and 3 children. Okay? And I'm sure that she was just in this blind rage and irrational, because when that snaps, there's no logic there at that point. There is no logic. So a very sad thing, but the fact that she was presenting as, I guess, trans male, and with all the transgender stuff coming out, and I'm sure that she heard a load of it when she was going to school there. that she just snapped. This is, again, don't think that in any way, shape, or form I'm justifying what she did. I can see it, I can understand it. It doesn't justify it by any means, but I wish she would have gotten some good mental health help, and found out that, taking that kind of action doesn't solve anything, okay? It's just going to amp up even more rhetoric against transgender community, okay? So on that note, I'm going to leave this here, and I'll see you online. Just sad.